Welcome to the list. This week, I'm going to show you how you can save money and help save the planet at the same time. Little Aussie company ZeroCo has a simple mission: to reduce the use of single-use plastic by selling eco-friendly cleaning and personal care products that are home delivered in recyclable packaging, which can be put into bottles that can be used again and again and again and again. Why is that important, I hear you ask? Because most cleaning products and personal care items are bought by us in supermarkets, taken home, and the plastic containers they come in often only live in our homes as long as the product inside lives. After that, hopefully they're recycled, which still takes energy and money, or in a lot of cases we know they end up in landfill, or worse, in our oceans. Despite the fact we're so quick to churn through plastic containers in our homes, this is quite confronting. A single plastic container can take up to 450 years to break down. That means plastic containers are definitely not designed for single use. They can be used again and again and again, which is exactly where ZeroCo have zeroed in. ZeroCo reckons a 4-person household, which is what I live in, actually goes through on average about 200 plastic bottles a year. That sounds like a lot, but after having a quick look under my kitchen sink where the cleaning products are, in the laundry and in the bathrooms, and thinking about how often we turn those over, I'm actually convinced we're probably a little indexing more than that, which is actually quite concerning. That's a lot of containers either ending up in the bin or even in our recycling bins. The ZeroCo system stops this dead without us busy householders having to do very much at all. I have to confess, trying to be greener is always on my to-do list, but I have to admit, I'm probably not as good at it as I should be. Again, in the rush, running a busy household with 2 kids, a lot of things fall off the wayside. So anywhere where I can be a bit greener without having to do a lot is a massive sell. As a result, I decided to take the ZeroCo products for a spin in my house and give you guys a review on how they go. Using ZeroCo is really simple. Instead of buying this cleaning stuff that you'd buy at the supermarket, lugging it home and then shucking out the container when it runs out and buying the whole thing again, ZeroCo delivers the products you need to your home in recyclable soft pouches with a collection of very cute colour-coded bottles and containers. You empty the product from the pouches into the bottles and containers to use at home. And here's the really clever bit. Once you've emptied those pouches into the containers, you can mail the empty pouches back to ZeroCo in a prepaid envelope where they'll get washed and recycled for use again. And those cute containers, you get to keep them and you can refill them again and again and again. I reviewed the ZeroCo starter box, which comes with all the empty bottles and containers you're going to need, plus the pouches, and it contains roughly what ZeroCo says is enough cleaning product for a household to last 3 or 4 months. The starter kit contains hand wash, body wash, laundry liquid, multi-purpose spray, dishwashing liquid, dishwasher tablets, stain remover, shower cleaner, toilet cleaner, and air freshener, which I reckon would be pretty good for stinky teenage bedrooms. Plus, you get the 9 reusable dispensers made from ocean, beach, and landfill plastic. Now comes the one bit of the ZeroCo system that is a little bit different to just buying the products in the supermarket and bringing them home, and that is the decanting of the product in the recyclable pouches into your forever bottles. I have to say this wasn't as easy as I first thought, and I'm sure I would get better with practice, but I have to say, while some products were pretty easy to get into the containers, others just didn't fit that well, or the liquid took a bit of time to get out of the pouch and into the bottle. I also found this process pretty messy because quite a lot of product ended up going down the sink or down the sides of the bottle, and all up, I'd say decanting all the pouches into the bottles in the starter kit took me just over 30 minutes. While some pouches completely empty into their bottles, others like the laundry liquid have substantial leftovers in the pouch, which I will have to store until I need to refill the bottle, which I hadn't counted on initially. I thought I'd just be able to mail all the pouches back immediately, but that's pretty easy. There's plenty of room for them under the cupboard. As for the cleaning side of things and how everything performed, I replaced all the things I usually use in my house with the ZeroCo products and gave them a really good run for a couple of weeks in the house. I'd say overall, all the cleaning products did just as good a job as all the ones that I buy at the supermarket. To be honest, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about my cleaning products, but look, Zero Co was noticeably no different. So to me, that's great. And in fact, in a couple of cases with the hand wash, the multi-purpose cleaner, which gets a massive workout in our kitchen, and the laundry liquid, I actually thought they smelled nicer than the products we tend to buy. So that was a bit of a win too. The stain remover did a really good job on our clothes, especially my kids' clothes. I don't know why children like to wipe their hands on their clothes instead of on a paper towel, or I don't know, go wash their hands. So all up, I'd say all these products clean just as well as the ones we buy at the supermarket, if not a little better. So I hear you ask, it's all very well that the Zero Co cleaning products are as good as those well-known brands you can buy in the supermarket, but what about the cost? Well, I'm happy to answer on that. The numbers have been crunched and the products in this starter box are either the same price as those well-known brands or even cheaper. This particular box that I used is actually about 20 bucks cheaper than if you bought similar products, top of the range products at the supermarket. And you don't have to lug them home, which for me is a massive bonus. There's a flat delivery fee of $10, but shipping is free if you spend over 199 bucks. So would I recommend Zero Co? I absolutely would. Apart from the fact it's killed my single-use plastic in half, which is something I am quite embarrassed to say I don't really think about. Yes, I do recycle, but it absolutely seems like madness that we use plastic bottles for a couple of weeks before they get recycled when they've got the potential to last for years. Massive tick in my books on that one. Also, I have to admit, this really appeals to my sense of laziness. I hate doing grocery shopping, I hate lugging stuff home, cleaning products are heavy. The fact that they get delivered to your door is a massive win. That delivery fee of $10 is pretty low too when you're looking at only probably ordering those products to be replaced and refilled every 3 to 4 months. It's not a huge cost, particularly when you know that these products aren't going to be much more than what you're paying for in the supermarket, and in some cases a little less. And at the risk of sounding shallow, the bottles look great. They're very, very aesthetically appealing. I can tell that Zero Co's done a lot of work on that. They're color coded too, which I really, really love. And hey, you know, if you are going to have bottles you've got to have to hang around for a long time and reuse, you want them to look good. And they're easy to use too. I didn't have any problems with the spray bottles or anything like that. They all work perfect. On the downside, I have to say the whole decanting process was more difficult than I expected, and it was a bit frustrating seeing quite a bit of product slipping down the side of the bottle or into the sink. Like I said, I'm sure with practice you can get a lot more efficient at doing this, but I have to say it was fairly time consuming the first time I did it, and quite hard work depending on the products. But you know, again, it's something you only have to do every 3 or 4 months, so not a massive deal breaker in my books. As for being able to send all the pouches back in a prepaid envelope, I love that too. That's something I don't have to work very hard to get done. And even better, I've managed to convince my 10-year-old to drop it off on the way to school. So I am winning. So should you give Zero Co a go? Absolutely. This is an Australian company. Apart from coming up with a brilliant idea to kind of stop that single-use plastic cycle dead in its tracks, these guys are doing all kinds of great things for the environment, and they're a local company. I'd highly recommend giving them a go. If you want more information about Zero Co, I've got links to their website in the description below. If you want to read a more detailed review, I've written one for finder.com.au. The link to that is in the description below too. That's it for me this week. I'll be back next week with more money-saving tips, how-tos, reviews, and a few more things to tick off our collective to-do list. See you later.